Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone. We are punctual, perfectly punctual. This is our last day. This training. Hallelujah. And but I'm sorry, it will be fully booked until tonight. So. Well, we see. Again, will be a mix of game and exercise. Today, this module is about the collaboration. In particular about networking. Because 2 days ago, when we did the analysis, came out that one element of strength of Stella is the network, but the network is still lacking. That it has to be strengthened because at the moment is not very well developed. What does it mean? Networking in operational words means knowing the others and collaborating with the others. Okay? Just knowing that in Europe, in Aberdeen, Doug is there, this knowledge doesn't translate in automatically in being in a network, because we need to establish a relationship and we need to know who Doug is, no, because we need to develop trust with him. Okay? Plus, apart of this, there is the need to establish not very formal procedures, but some sort of line of communication and, let's say, developing a relationship, establishing a relationship. This is a referral system. A network is such when we establish a referral system, meaning that I can refer to you all someone that I know is in trouble, like the example the fathers that I did at the beginning. Still, we will work out. I never I haven't forgot that. This afternoon is your with that story. But you have to, otherwise you are calling in the dark. You know, I mean, throwing stones, etc. When we establish something, some line of communication and collaboration, we are referring our beneficiaries, client, customer, whatever you want to call it, with trust. Today, this morning, we work on this. So, there is the first work that is not a group work, it's a very small group work, and it's the market. And then we reinforce the knowledge obtained through this exercise with other games like yesterday or role play. The market is more or less a simulation. With the market, like in every market, I'm asking you to prepare and sell your products. Here in this room we have Thailand, port. The two of you are working in the same port. No, in two ports. Perfect. Then we have Vietnam. We go in this line. Where is Vienna? How many ports are you working? One. No one. No one. Perfect. Not yet. Okay, but will.
For me, it's 5 ports.
Okay.
We did not make it there.
So you have something to do. Then we have North Korea.
No.
South Korea.
Say East Korea.
South Korea. Seoul. This morning I learned how to pronounce, because for us it's Seoul, but the pronunciation is Seoul.
Yes, sir.
Then we have Japan. Japan.
Japan.
How many ports? One. And then we have the Philippines, right?
Many ports.
Mini ports.
Many ports.
Exactly.
So we say
Which one? Your port.
Ay, no port. No port.
San Fernando.
San Fernando.
Santo Fernando.
Where is geographically? Help me with the geography. Dai, vieni qua.
No.
No right person.
I should excuse myself because I have no fingers. So.
Ecco qua. San Fernando.
What else?
So here, San Fernando, Alaminos,
Sí, yes.
Batangas. Batangas is absent.
Manila.
Manila. In Visayas we have
Cebu.
Maasin.
Tagbilaran.
let us put Bohol na lang. And
Borongan.
Borongan.
Yeah.
Borongan.
Iligan.
Iloilo. Yes.
Iloilo, yeah.
But Iloilo is not here. Iligan is not here.
No, there is not here. Only who is present.
Iloilo is not here, no?
Yes.
What am I missing?
It's not here.
No, suppose
Jensen.
General
Now, Jensen.
Cagayan de Oro, Davao, General Santos. Then one absent. Cebu, Maasin, Bohol, Borongan. We have Iloilo, which has the largest number of seafarers. No chaplain there, no? Here there are the three Batangas, but unfortunately sister is
Helen.
Okay. San Fernando. Sister.
Borongan.
that's it.
Yes.
Bohol.
Oh, yeah, Bohol.
Cebu.
Davao.
Davao.
Jensen.
Davao. Jensen. Sister.
Alaminos.
My North. Sirio.
Okay. Mindanao.
Sirio.
Where is it?
CDO.
CDO.
Yes.
Okay. Who is Manila?
Orders.
You're working.
Yes.
Sometimes. I pretend. What did you say yesterday? I pretend?
I presume.
I presume.
Very well. So, forgot. There is also Aberdeen, if we put here,
Yes.
in the corner, because it is in the corner. So, what I'm asking you to do is very simple. You have to prepare. You use a flip chart and you prepare this information. Okay? Something about you, yourself. Okay? If you are religious, if you are a priest, if you are a lay, whatever. Okay? Whatever you want to add, okay, about yourself. Which pastoral / spiritual and welfare services are you offering in your port? Okay? In your port. Not what is offered somewhere else. No, what would you like? No, exactly what you can offer. Okay? What the people that are coming to your port find. Only that. Okay? Explaining the difference in between exactly which pastoral care are you providing, which spiritual care are you providing, which welfare ministries are you providing. To whom? The picture of your beneficiaries, those who are coming or living in your port. Okay? And the nationalities of your beneficiaries. This for information. Because then, with this information, we will open the stock market and we will sell the stocks around. Is it okay? It's very simple. Okay? Do it port by port. Okay? Again, you do what you think that tomorrow you will do. You will start to do it. Okay? So each one, okay, because you are single, no? Apart Thailand that can work together, but the others they are representing a single port. Right? I'm correct?
Yeah.
Okay. No, Japan, no. You are together. Yes. You work together, Thailand work together, the others, you are working, who is working together, work together, and not the others alone. Okay? You have to be catchy, because then you have to sell yourself to the others members of this group. So try to be convincing them. Okay? So, wherever you want to stay, you can put yourself. But only what you do. Okay? Not what you dream to do.
Dream. Go on.
เราอยู่กันสองคน
Opening the market, we do again. Simple, very simple. Almost not understandable, but it's so simple that simple but you cannot understand. Okay, Sister Kathleen is giving you a post-it. Okay, all of you have a pen, right? Do you have a pen or a pencil or a marker? Because you need it. So take your pen, pencil or marker. How many of us?
Yes.
Hi, Sister Chair.
It's a competition game.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We are 18. Okay? So your task is to choose, to pick up one number between 1 and 18 included. Okay? Okay. The rule is 1. The winner is the one who pick up the number closer to 1 or 1. Okay? But those who have the same numbers will be eliminated.
Oh my God.
So it's a strategic and competitive game that you cannot, of course, talk with anyone. It's individual game. I want you determined, motivated. Okay? I want you to win. Right?
Yes.
So when you write your number, be careful that the others close to you are not looking at you writing the number. Because of course, if I see someone say 8, of course 7.
Whatever number.
Whatever you want, be careful. The winner is the one who gets to pick up the number closer or the 1. But if you pick up 3 and the sister pick up 3, the two of you are eliminated. Okay? I don't want anyone look at the others posting. Okay? Ready?
Yes.
One more. So we choose number 1 to 18?
Yeah.
Oh,
From 1 to 18. Okay? The one you think that will win.
This is a lottery. This one
It's
is
like a lottery, yes.
What is the prize?
Example.
What is the price?
Price. That's
You will see.
problem.
It's a surprise.
1 million.
Free ticket
Okay.
plus
What is give?
Everyone?
Yes. Yes.
The ticket, the plus one.
Okay, so Paolo, come here.
Oh.
No, Anzi, stand up and show your number.
Ah, you write first.
Your number 16. He's very brave man. 16. He plays safe. Father. 7. So come here, stay here because Paolo lost already. Maybe. Sister. 9. Sit down.
Sit down.
Father. Coco.
Dalawa na tayo.
7.
Patay kayo.
Sit down.
Sister, come here.
Oh, see?
What is your number?
Oh.
Oh, please, allow the
Oh.
line.
Oh, sister, go back.
9.
Ah, 9.
Nine.
Wait, you never. Ah, no, eliminated. Okay. 8. 8. 6. 16.
16.
1.
Wow.
Father Edwin, hati tayo. Ako papunta, ikaw pabalik.
Nobody else.
7.
18.
17.
That's my lucky number.
2. 5.
1.00.
Bravo. So, tell us. Tell your colleague.
Yes.
Why you decided to pick up number 1?
Because I want number 1. I want to be number 1. I want to show off.
Okay, good point. Thank you very much. The others,
Lose.
why you didn't pick up number 1, part 1009?
Actually, I really wanted to be the number one. I was thinking that I will be the one to report first.
So, what did you think? Why you pick up, for instance, those who play safe, picking the numbers like 17, 16? What was behind your thought?
I wanted to pick up 8, but then I thought it is in the middle. So I doubled my number, hoping I would have no competitor. And unfortunately, I got the worst competitor of mine. But at the end of the day, this is the real reason. In personality type, I am number 8. Honestly, this is the reason behind. I think we Stella Maris guys, we Stella Maris chaplain or director, we have to show a kind of leadership in any level. So personally, I'd like to develop this kind of service to the beneficiaries, because we cannot cover everything, but we can help and lead others to help us. That's why. So I doubled the number. But unfortunately, Father John,
Who wants to share?
Me, I chose 9. Because it's the middle from 1 to 18. Playing safe.
I choose 8. I love the figure 8. I believe 8 is a lucky number because almost all my blessings are 8. Number 8, number 8, and my weekend celebration is 8. For me, this is a bit a lucky number. I love this number.
Okay.
I choose 4 because I would like to choose 1, but I'm thinking somebody will choose and then I'll be out. So I need to be unique number. But Asian culture, some culture, 4 is not really favorite number, so I choose to survive.
Yes, usually is a good strategy.
I didn't think anyone would choose 1.0019. That's why I chose it.
Yes, you are very lucky because this man decided one. But it's true.
Yes, yes, that's a point.
This is cheating. You are lucky because they 1.001. Yes. Otherwise, you are very risky. Risky business. Okay.
Me, I choose 3 because this is my birthday. And also, my 3 years in the Diocese of Palafox.
Well,
Yeah, I choose 17 not to be very safe, but what you have said, I reverse it. That nearest to 18, and then 17 also is my lucky number.
okay, to tell you the truth, is apparently a super stupid game. But it's not at the end of the day, because it tells us something. So, first of all, usually it's very common that many people pick up the safer numbers, and usually they are those who are eliminated the most. The real competition is in between 2 and 5, Because most of the time it's very rare that people pick up the number 1. But most of the time number 1 is the right choice. Because it's a matter of super confidence and super bet. Okay? This is a betting game. So we need to be whatever you do, and then later you will sell yourself. That's why we play this game now, because you need to be confident on yourself, and you need to be confident that you are the one. Okay, strong. That what you do is maybe it's not the best, but is the best in where you are. Okay? So, in life we need to risk, we have to throw ourselves. Okay? It's good to be humble, it's good to be safe, but sometimes we need also to believe more on ourselves. Okay? So congratulations, Father, because number 1, really. And thanks to him, you have to offer him something, because mango, right, mango. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I think before opening the market, we can have a coffee. Come here, both of you, and impress us.
I'm Atiya, Deputy National Director, Chaplains in Thailand. For me, based in Chantaburi Diocese, I have Seashang Anchorage. The seafarer will come by speedboat to our center in Silasha. I have Silasha Harbour Port, Curry Siam Seaport, Lam Shabang Port, Bang Sale Pier, Samasan Pier, and Rayong Fishing Port in our area, two provinces. We have another office in Rayong Fishing Port. In that we have 42 private ports.
Yeah. I'm Buku from Myanmar, but responsible in Bangkok Port, Bangkok City, and surrounding Bangkok fishing port. Yeah. We have like that.
You have Samut Sakhon Fishing Pier, Samut Prakan Fishing Pier, Bangkok Port, and in the middle of the river you have Wharf. Yes, in the middle of the river. And then provides is 2 offices we are same. We have ship visiting on board in Bangkok Port. I have visit the fishing pier, visit the fishing communication, community, and the family in the seafood processing and all seafood supply chains. And we have a vocational training about make a shampoo, make a wash dish, grow the vegetable, food safety, food for all. And then we have anti-human trafficking training. We have healthcare project for the children, for the fishermen and the family, bring the children to get vaccine with the government. And we provide COVID vaccine for the fishermen. Now the second dose already. The fishermen get benefits of 1,200 fishermen get second vaccines. And we have a complaint system, the ship case, the reefer case. We have masks on board. We have counseling. Yes. And we still have COVID emergency support in 3 provinces, in Rayong, in Chonburi, Samut Sakhar, support by my international director is here. We still have the project COVID emergency support within this end of the year because I still have a lot of money to live. And
Did you spend it all?
no, not yet. And we have advocacy work with the government. I be the committee draft the law C188 about the fishery. And I in the team draft with NRM, National Referral Mechanism about the anti-human trafficking and overseas abroad. And we have workshop support by IJM, support by Active UNDP to have workshop with the police, attorney and judge. And framework, NRM is framework for identify in the frame of a national plan of the Prime Minister Office. Stella must be the front line because we are a complaint mechanism. When the migrant and the civilian complain to us, we will identify the case first, and if they are the victim, survivor, we have 2 choices. If you need to stay in shelter of government or need to stay with Stella Malis, and then we will have until sent to the judge. And the nationality. We have Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, Bangladesh, India, China, Sri Lanka, Thai, Ukrainian, Taiwanese, and Indonesia. Finish.
So if you needed some question, please.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
The question is, are you somehow in contact with one of these sports?
No, never.
Never.
I contact with
My director with me.
You are in contact with the director. My director, your director. Okay. So quindi Alpinia is not networked with any of you. My other question is there any one of you that is interested in deepening the collaboration with Alpinia?
We're friends in Facebook.
So,
No, this is a definite plan. I think the sister went together. That's not a permanent plan.
whiteboard. No, this is permanent. We can't. So, we have South Korea interested. Who else?
Japan.
Wait, one by one.
Yeah.
All.
Oh.
Cebu.
Borongan.
Jensen. Alaminos.
Santos.
Davao. Davao.
All, basically.
All.
All. We're friends in Facebook.
Bokor, Masin.
Masin.
It's not an obligation, it's only if you are interested. And if you know, I mean, we're not selling the fruit here. I mean, it's only if you know that some of your sailors, fishermen, etc., can end up there, not for fun. Okay? So, please, don't waste my time here. So, Masin, no. Okay. The others, are you sure that yours are going to to the ports mentioned by Pina and Coco? Okay? Aberdeen.
We could have people going to any of these ports.
Okay. Where is the other one? Who is the guy?
Yeah.
He left.
Japan.
Okay, you will be busy later. I'll see. Okay? Because after this session, then there will be private consultancies. Okay? Give it and keep it there with you. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to Vietnam, dai. Vieni, come. Vietnam is a future. Okay? Because it doesn't exist at the moment.
Not I do.
So in the stock exchange market is called the future.
In the
We are
future.
betting on what is going to happen there.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Joseph here. Scalabrinians.
Right,
I will do, but for the years to come, because in Vietnam now no exist the port for the seafarer and fishers. In Saigon port or Cambodia port, I plan to visit their family, especially fisher. This means home visitation. Because in Vietnam, I also work with the Caritas in Talitakum, so that I have learned to cooperate with them to do something for the children, especially for those who are living in the ship, a small ship. So I also ask, because I living in the seminarians, so I want to ask our brothers, seminarians, help me to go there some while to teach them English or education, because they are lucky. They didn't allow the government and also the police didn't allow the children go to school for the small children up. When they grow up, they're lacking a lot of things. I also would like to organize some trips, some tourists, to help them in the lake. Tonle Sap is mean Tonle Sap. I were there already, but there are so many difficulties because they live there without job, only fishing, and sell something on the lake for the tourists. The children very young, 4 or 5 years old, they sell many things for the tourists, $1 or $2. So that is very difficult for them to live and continue to study. Actually, they also have the small cone on the ship, because they did the government in Vietnam, also in Cambodia, didn't allow them come on the land, because they without documents, nothing for many years. Only Tonle Sap, I found out 1,500 family. Each family have 6 or 8 members. grandfather, father, mother, and children. They live together on a small boat. They move every part of because the lake of the Tonle Sap is very, very big, the biggest in Asia. So I research for the coming years. I will research and find out the member of seafarer in Vietnam. For sure, there are so many, but actually now I didn't know anything. Luckily today I sent here and also learn something from your knowledge and what you can do for the seafarer and seafarers, fishers in your country, in your boat. When we research and find out, so we understand their condition, the situation of their family. So we have plan to help them somehow, but we don't know yet, so that we don't have exactly the plan for them. Also make some plans to with the other priests in the diocese, especially which diocese is near Cambodia and also in Vietnam. To have a training program and meeting with them. Actually, just 2 weeks ago, I went to Cambodia. We offered them around more than $10,000 to build the tower for the bell of the church for the migrants. Almost of them is seafarers living there. The small church, The priest he is the Korea. So this is working there. So to understand the needs of the seafarers and the children, etc. That is my plan to do in the future, the year to come. And please pray for me and thank you very much.
You are Yen.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord.
Your plan. Is there anyone that can be interested in keeping up with him in the future? Why?
We met a lot of Vietnamese there in Cebu.
Yeah, they have a lot of trafficking Vietnamese in Southport.
Okay. Thank you.
Borongan. Borongan.
Bohol. Bohol.
Davao.
Bohol.
Davao, Cagayan.
Davao.
Beh,
There.
CDO. Davao. Cagayan.
Jensen.
Palaminos. Upper.
We would like
get in the loop.
Aberdeen, simply because we have 2 seminarians currently from Aberdeen that are South Vietnamese. So I'm hoping that 1 or 2 of them, when they go through, will be placed in a port quite close to the seafarers. So we can make use of yourself.
Manila. We had a number of repatriated fishers from Vietnam illegally fishing in the Philippines.
We want to repatriate.
Repatriate.
Okay. You see, you're busy with the future. Okay. Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul, the chaplain in Incheon Port, South Korea. Nice to meet you. And I'd like to express what we're doing now and to whom. Basically, in South Korea, we have two international ports, Incheon and Busan. Two. So two Stella chaplains there. So today is not Busan chaplain not here. So I'd like to express Incheon port. So actually we are cooperating with customs and also ITF and lots of help from them. And pastoral care, sacraments, mass on the cargo or ship, and pick up and drop service from Incheon airport to when crew change, and visiting hospitals when seafarers and fishers in hospital, and visiting prison, sometimes conflict, some problems in the ship, sometimes overseas seafarers in prison. So we are visiting them. And lots of gifts we share. Actually, we made our own cap with Stella Maris logo, and also in South Korea, in particular 4 seasons. So in getting cold in the winter season, we made long padding with Stella Maris logo, and we free to share. Quite expensive, but many supporters in Incheon diocese, and we visiting each parishes, and we make more supporters. So now we have about 300, and we're going to plan this year about 500. And so supporters message for once a month, and customs Christian, Catholic, and gathering once a month, and then we have more information shared. And then because nowadays it's really hard to get into the port, so we need customs help. So they're very helpful. And so we actually support all seafarers to get into the Incheon international port, and they are from Europe or Asia, somewhere, everywhere to come to visit several days, and they depart. So very limited time to we visit them, and we say mass for them and counseling and to the reconciliation. And we always buy some cake for them, because just in case birthday is past or coming up, we don't know if they see them. It's very limited, so we don't know the future. Just know why we have to concentrate that person's individual God's children, so we're looking out for them. And actually in Incheon area, 126 little islands there. There are many fishers, also international fishers live there. So we're looking after visit islands, and I will share the gifts. So Philippines, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Nepal, Ukraine, China, Poland, Korea, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, Israel, many other countries visit and go, it's very busy area. So anybody looking for, try to contact with us. Don't be hesitate to contact with us. Our contact number is there, an email here, and also we have Facebook, Stella Maris in Incheon Port. So when we visit nearby Incheon, just try to contact with us. Facebook, and also I have YouTube channel. You can see more information from that. Thank you.
Can I
can I add a reason why I want to be in contact with you that you've not mentioned? Incheon has a lot of maritime industry there as well. There's a lot of big companies, insurers, brokers. It's a very important maritime port. So that's another reason why I want to be in contact with you as well. If there's an issue on those South Korean ships somewhere else in the world, knowing you're there is really valuable for me. Thank you.
We can even do better. We can move you there. Branch.
I second that.
I think another important thing that for Father Paul and still they do, they have a monthly newsletter, no, every 3 months newsletter in Korean that they distribute to all their supporters and everything. And I think that is very useful. It's in Korean, of course, because the target is that is their own people, their support and everything, to let them know what they are doing. So that's a very good mission.
Are you by any chance in contact with some of these colleagues of yours?
Yes, I'm looking forward to.
No, not looking. Already established contact or
Yes.
referral with some of them.
Yes, already. Japan, Myanmar, Thailand.
With Japan?
Vietnam, Thailand, and also and Philippines. Manila and Bohol.
Is it true?
No, already no. That's I'm trying to. So
what is already
ongoing? Only Japan. Only Japan.
Only Japan.
Not to them, but Yokohama International Port.
This will be the future.
Okay.
Okay.
In the future.
Okay. Even Thailand will be the future. You are cheating me, eh?
Sorry about that. Misunderstanding.
And the others, who has solid reasons to establish a contact with Paul?
Banana boat. There are banana boat floating into.
Banana boat.
Yeah, from Davao going to Korea.
Okay.
Korean drama. Kimchi.
In the Philippines, who is not interested? It's better to say like this. All, you are all interested in the future to establish.
Yes.
Okay. Thailand, you are.
Yes, they have best in Korea.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much.
And Japan? Number one.
So imagine that I'm now on the boat or the ship. So we normally introduce ourselves. My name is Father Edwin, and I'm with Erin. I'm a Catholic priest, Salvadoran missionary. I'm the chaplain of the Stella Tokyo. So our address is here at in Kamiosaki, Shinagaku, Tokyo. This is very close by to your place, to your ship. You can get in touch with us at this number, and we have also the email address. Erlin contact number is also provided there. What are the services that we can offer for you? We have this pastoral, spiritual, and welfare services, sacraments. We can celebrate Mass whenever you request, confession, anointing. You can always be ready for blessings. We have Bibles, rosaries, novenas, magazines, etc. We provide psycho-spiritual counseling, of course, as we do the ship visitation regularly. We also provide paralegal assistance and networking. We will be in network with, hopefully with all of you someday. But meanwhile, we are in network with all the chaplains of Japan, in different ports of Japan. On Christmas, on December, we provide bonnets as a gift for the seafarers. They are normally produced by volunteers, old ladies who have time to do crochet Turks. And as a gift to the seafarers, we normally provide them. And in contact with the students of university, of the school, we are encouraging them to make personalized Christmas cards. That whenever we visit ships, we bring bonnets and Christmas cards with personalized messages from the students. This is also our way of conscious raising awareness about the plight of the seafarers. That's how what we are doing. So our beneficiaries are all seafarers who are coming to Tokyo Bay area, which is just next to Yokohama port. All the seafarers, we don't have fishers. We don't have fishermen in our area. So mostly in different boats, there are of course the famous Davao banana from Davao. That's a regular ship that would come to visit, of course, manned by a Egyptian captain. They probably that. So they would come, and so they are normally our beneficiary. We have Chinese, Ukrainians, Egyptians, also of course the Koreans. So for Filipinos in particular, Vietnamese, Indonesians, we have all that. So in a way, if we can be able to communicate with them, we will try to find volunteers who can speak the languages in order to provide these very modest services that we have, because we are just starting up. We are actually restarting again our work, because after the pandemic, the port was closed, and we have just begun again with our services. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Are you already in contact with some of your...
Oh, well, Manila.
You are in contact with it? No, okay. Manila?
Manila only. Yeah, Manila only. Monsignor text in Pavelio.
Only Manila?
Yeah. But I know this guy, so I only know Monsignor text in Manila. And of course, Diola, for Cebu. Oh, you see, it's good.
But it happened...
I have of course the Vatican.
It happened that you contacted him for some cases, for someone, or
actually,
you needed some...
They were the ones contacting us.
Yes,
For,
we received directly from the people.
Okay.
Yes. We received directly from the people, or Manila, of course, they are requesting help from us. But then we referred them to another chaplain, because they did not happen in our juridical area.
Okay.
So that's how we do the network.
In Manila, in the Philippines, who is interested, who has interests?
Japan.
Okay, all. Thank you.
Yes, because usually they have a lot of cases in Japan, but I work with Inspector Fusao, Mr. Fusao.
Is he in Tokyo?
Yeah. I think Inspector Fusao handled the case.
Can we wait?
Yes. I'm
Patient man.
4 days.
San Fernando.
leaders and brothers and sisters. This is my first time to join this Stella, and so the program that I'm going to present is the previous one, the program of our diocese. First is what we do is the survey and home visitation. I have a companion, Sister Flor, replaced the position of Sister Millet in our diocese before. He goes around and going to the fishermen, and as of now we are starting again for having a profiling and knowing more the fishermen in our area. And second is orientation towards organizing parish migrants ministry. Actually, I already witnessed the Sister Millet, what they did in our diocese before. They roam around in our diocese and present what is the migrants all about and what seafarers is all about. And third is formation of SDO, sons and daughters of OFWs. In our diocese, I have two sisters. There's another assigned in migrants, and there's for CDS, we call it Catholic Diocesan School for the migrants. And fourth is referrals of cases to government agencies like OWAP, UEA, and other agencies. Celebration of the Eucharist on special occasion. Actually, the celebration for the migrants on September 17, we will celebrate the diocesan first.
25. September 25.
September 25, but in our diocese, we scheduled on September 17 near the seashore with the bishop, and I already coordinated with the fishermen in our area from Rosario to Sulipan, those who are in the coastal area. I invite them to go there, and I will do the first activity is I will bless their all boats, and we will celebrate the Mass with the bishop. Third is family gathering to give tribute to the FWs who have died. On September 17, we will do this also. There will be a paraliturgy for the seafarers on the beach. Actually, my members, they requested to be the bishop to go at the seashore, but I refused them. But I volunteered myself to go in the sea. And giving assistance, material and spiritual, especially during this pandemic. And lastly, follow-up sick OFWs coming from abroad and extending material help. And also, we celebrate also family gathering during Christmas. There is it's like call this celebration for family of the migrants during every December. That's it.
Where are your beneficiaries? They are only Filipino. Okay? Okay. Are you in contact with some other Filipino places? We are referring cases, operation.
Referring cases.
With who?
Manila.
Manila.
And other ports. Other ports.
You are okay. Thank you.
Cortez Perez from the Diocese of Alaminos. So our ministry, the Diocesan Ministry for Pastoral Care of Migrants and Itinerant People, envisioned to accompany and support the migrants and their families in living out their Christian life in that community. So all the program services or the pastoral and social services, this is with the knowledge of our bishop. But now only the apostolic administrator, Most Reverend Fidelis Layo. Then also, with the consent also of our diocesan director, Father Edwin Ferrer, then I am the diocesan coordinator. And we have also our lay leaders and volunteers. So, for our programs and services, so we are doing our home visitation. So our beneficiaries are the seafarers, fisher folks, and their families. Then, home visitation, like that. So, Organization of Seafarers Wives Association, we have that. The SWA. So, very active in our diocese. The Seafarers Wives Association. Then, referrals of seafarers cases to government agencies, because in our diocese, we have a close contact or good collaboration with the LGU or the local government unit. Then, Diocesan Seafarers and Fisher Folks Day. So, we have the Memorial by the Sea to honor the memory of our beloved departed seafarers and fisher folks. So, now, last Sunday of September, together with the Migrants Day and Seafarers Day combined celebration. Then, financial management, because as what I have said, we have good collaboration with the LGU, so we have linkage here. Then financial and other aid in kind. So we have some sponsors and other benefactors. Let's say this pandemic period, we give some gift giving, rice, canned goods, and other supplies for the needy, for the fisher folks. Also during typhoons and other calamities. Then we have seminars for the seafarers' wives, then the livelihood training. Then for the pastoral and social services, home visitation to OFW, organization of the SDO, this is the sons and daughters of OFW, or the Overseas Filipino Workers. Then this is parochial, then parochial schools, public schools. Then organization of Diocesan Migrants Desk, if there are problems or counseling, we have that. Then religious and sacramental care services. Of course, for the sacraments, with our diocesan director and our bishop, they are also very active. And also we have our Advent, Lenten recollections, like that, for the seafarers' wives and other volunteers. Then we have radio program, we call it Buhay Pamilya, every Friday, 11 to 12 noon. So we tackle everything about the family values, family problems, like that. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Your beneficiaries are Filipino.
Yes, all Filipinos.
Because you're taking care of the community.
Yeah, one diocese.
Okay. And you are in contact with the San Fernando
Yes.
and Manila.
Yes.
Nothing else. Nothing else.
And also na Burungan, because we have our sisters there. Also Burungan.
More than that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cebu.
I thought that you're asking for connection. Alumnus, I think that you are asking again the interested days for the connection for Alumnus. You're not? Because I raised my hands, I want to be connected with the
Everybody.
Everybody wants to connect. Then the problem is that everybody was interested in getting connected. That's why.
Because we want to visit the 100 islands. So from the port of Cebu, my name is Father John Mission. My archdiocese is the Archdiocese of Cebu. My designation is chaplain and at the same time executive director. Our office is, of course, Stella Seafarer Center, and it's duly registered by the Securities and Exchange Commission because it's a foundation. So it's unincorporated. Of course, we have contact numbers, and also we can be contacted through our social media accounts. And the services we offer, of course, the number one is the home, away from home of our seafarers. So right now, for example, we have around 100 seafarers staying at the center. Then the second is day-to-day. We do the ship visitation for our seafarers, either in the local or domestic ports or in the international port. And then the third is we do home and hospital visitation for our seafarers and their families. We have psychospiritual interventions also, administering sacraments, counseling. We conduct human development formation, Christian formations, retreats and recollections, and also some financial planning for our seafarers' families. We do case management and referrals. Of course, this is very important for us because we linkage or we partner our seafarers with government, with different government agencies related to maritime, and also with private agencies, so shipping, manning agencies, training centers in Cebu. So of course, both international and local. So for international also, we connect with different ports also. So right now, because I received yesterday, for example, news of a seaman from Bantayan Island, Cebu, who died on board, and the body was disembarked in Algeria. So I need to contact our first chaplain, our founder of the Apostleship of the Sea in Cebu, Father Roland Duriol, who is right now in Algeria. So he's a great help for us also, even until now. So, and of course, other ports also, not only in the Philippines, but of course in other countries. So just recently also, I think early this year, we have this contact in South Korea, no? Because of this Cebuano seafarer was being detained in, I think, Busan. And then, of course, we have chaplaincies in maritime schools. So we have different maritime schools. So I'm acting also as the chaplain of the #1 maritime schools in Cebu, or maybe in the Philippines, University of Cebu, because in this school, the Apostleship of the Sea started. Then we do community organizing for our porters, fishing communities, the families of seafarers, in the families, in the parishes and communities also. Of course, we have radio program also every Saturday, 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So our target group, of course, the people of the sea. So the seafarers, the families of seafarers, the fishers and their families, the porters, the port personnel. So right now, we're conducting right now a wedding for our porters. So it's not a mass wedding, but there's only one porter who at least avail our program for a free wedding. So right now, they're in the center for banquet after the wedding. So, of course, the students in maritime schools. Of course, the nationalities of beneficiaries. So, mostly are Filipinos, but since we do ship visitation in the international port, so every day we meet foreign seafarers. So, Vietnamese, because we import rice, we eat your rice. Thank you. And then Koreans.
It's not free.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you very much.
You said that
Yeah, South Korea. We contacted South Korea.
With
also.
him?
Yeah. No, not one.
Busan,
Father
Busan.
Arvin and his
Yeah.
fellow priest.
why didn't you mention more?
Vietnam also, because I think 2 years ago also we have the seafarers. Actually, the one being detained was the vessel, no? But the people there on board, they're all Vietnamese, so we give them provisions.
And with the other port in the Philippines?
Of course, in the
Yes.
Philippines, we can connect anytime.
No, not you can. You are.
We are connecting each other.
You're already.
Manila also,
Yes.
Manila, Bohol, Maasin, and then General Santos City, and also Cagayan de Oro and Davao. Yeah.
Cebu is the port.
I think so.
And this one?
Yeah, that's Cagayan de Oro. Cagayan de Oro.
Central World. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mazin?
From Maasin. It's a small island. I mean, part of Leyte. It has 6 ports, but not international port. Only serve as domestic port for ferries and vessels going to Cebu and going to Bohol. No? So my beneficiaries are not international seafarers, but local. But I work with families and seafarers from my diocese, Diocese of Maasin. So for these 6 ports, servicing only 1 to 2 shipping lines. They have trips every day going to Cebu, and some are going to Bohol. So I asked the shipping lines if we could celebrate Mass in the evening before they start their duty, because it departs at 10 in the evening every day. So I asked them if Sunday I could visit 2 ports, which is 1 hour travel from my place, from Maasin, to celebrate Mass with them, with the crew of these ferries, these vessels. But my work is centered on the families and the seafarers who are having vacation or waiting to be called by their companies, and most especially the families. So I have started profiling at the start of this year. I already have around 500 seafarers and their families, members of these pastoral work. So I have 2 groups that work with me, volunteers. They are wives of seafarers and also retired seafarers. So they work with me close, in hand, and we travel the parishes in the diocese, explaining the work, the apostolate of Stella Maris, and also our services. So our services in the pastoral side, we have family visitation, and then we also organize seminars, financial and family enrichment program, and also sharing of goods to port workers, the porters, and also the ship crew, the workers in the, and then dialogue with seafarers. During pandemic, I talk with many seafarers, those who stayed because their contract was cancelled or shortened because of the pandemic. So it's quite sad story for them. And for the spiritual services, as I've said, liturgical celebrations, on board, and confession, and then recollections for the families, for the wives, and prayer meetings. So I adopt this with the advice also of the bishop, that if we could have a small group of seafarers and families that would meet once a month or twice or every week, depending on their availability. They could share, they could like a BEC, a small group, sharing the Word of God. So it's like that. So that's practically my work as chaplain in the Diocese of Masin for Stella Maris.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Father Victor Chigumpat, the chaplain of the port of Bohol. So I should have to say it because we have 8 ports practically in Bohol, but my activity is more on the Tagbilaran port. Our address, or my address, we do not have the official office because we have an office before, but unfortunately it was being closed. We're not able to sustain it because the members, seafarers' wives, stopped on contributing the rent of our office to the extent that I was only the one paying the rent. So I decided to close it. So they come to my school. I have a school. So I'm staying there. So most often, if there is a problem, so they will come. They know it already where I am residing. So the address is Escola Suchitas. The name of the school, Tip Tip, Tagbilaran City, Bohol. And of course, our pastoral activities that we have. So our we catered our services to the fishermen, seafarers, family, seafarers themselves, families, port employees, maritime students, and maritime schools. So as to the nature of our work, these are the usual activities that we have. Of course, with the seafarers, we have the counseling and our counseling, visitation, assistance in different forms, mass and spiritual assistance, and we have sometimes materials and financial assistance, and sick visitation in the home and in the hospital. And of course, we have a lot of activities too. We have the most especially the National Seafarers Day, where all the seafarers who are on vacation and their respective families will come to congregate in order to celebrate this celebration. So we have a lot of orientations too, as most especially our target now is that we have a desk in every parish. So we started from the vicariate level for orientation seminar. And then we have also the paralegal seminars and referrals, most especially those graduating students that will not be ignorant as to their legal rights. So we have to orient them before their graduation, so they really don't know what they are going to do. And we have these recollections and seminars to the of seafarers' families, counseling, visitation, and then we also have our contact, of course, spiritual assistance, and most especially celebration of the Mass for the port employees and the PPA. And in fact, before the pandemic, but it's not yet restored. I have a regular Mass in the port Saturday evening before the anticipated Mass in the port, that even before the boarding of the passengers, in the fast craft. I get the chance because, of celebrating Mass with them. And then for the port employees, of course, we have this Mass and sacraments. And yes, as I've said, the legal referrals. And then who are our beneficiaries? Most of them are mostly Filipinos. I do not have a contact with foreigners. I think that's all. Unless you have some questions.
So you confirm these links?
Yeah.
Manila, no?
Mm-hmm. Always. With the courtesy of Father Paulo. Thank you very much, Father. I think that's all.
Okay, so as backgrounder, I would like to say that I'm only 2 months old in Borongan. I came from the Diocese of San Fernando La Union, and we do not have the Stella Maris there. So I am working for the Commission for the Pastoral Care of Migrants and Itinerant People of Borongan, which the ASCOM. Then for their services, that I have taken over, we are doing education and formation to seafarers, seafishers, and their families. And then home visitation. Of the 34 parishes in the diocese, 27 have already been visited. And we have formed buklurans. They call this the bukluran. The bukluran of migranting pamilya. It's almost as the BEC. The entry point is gathering seafarers' families to pray together. And then we have the assistance to OFW families, OFWs and families left behind in legal cases, in health, and in materials through Stella Maris. Father Paulo is very good also. He, even if we do not have yet the Stella Maris there, he is sending us ayuda, help. So we are also sharing this help through the beneficiaries, which are the fisher folks and the seafarers. And then we have the celebration of the Eucharist during special occasions for OFWs and their families, the National Migrant Sunday and the NSD. And then family days also in December. And then we link with OWA, PCG, PhilHealth, and LGUs. Then we have our beneficiaries are the seafarers, Filipinos of course, seafarers, fishers, and their families.
Sorry, can you help me? Is the OFW Overseas Foreign Workers, OFWs, Overseas Foreign Workers?
Overseas Filipino workers.
Okay, right, you've answered my question.
So this is for both land-based and sea-based. And I am pushing to promote the Stella Maris in Borongan. That's why they were surprised because they never had this before, and I introduced it now, the National Seafarers Day. So we will be having mass on the seaside and then also the memorial at sea. That's all. Alaminos and San Fernando, Manila. San Fernando because up to now, Sister Flor is contacting me for some help.
Okay, but you are not in contact with
Father.
with him. You are in contact.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope to be in contact with everybody.
We are familiar with SM. Big more here. So we have few products left for sale and for giveaways. Days of Archdiocese de Oro. We have our center there in Macabaran Port, and then I'm on Security Mass, and I've been working for the migrant ministry for the past 15 years. That's why the bishop gave me a successor, and that is Father Alan, and also two sisters, not two sisters, but three sisters, daughters, charity sisters from Iloilo. So services. Spiritual, we have weekly mass at the board, visitation, and then visitation, there are captains who really ask for us, and others just to visit. If non-Catholic, so just Bible study, being asked by the crew, and then confession, Bible study and confession. But I prefer mass, I prefer mass. So, involvement by administering the sacrament during celebration of the government agencies. So we have a big celebration, for example, this coming Maritime Week, Seafarers Day, and then other celebration, other agencies working for us for the welfare of the seafarers. You have psycho-spiritual intervention in times of calamities. We have counseling, and especially during COVID. And we have recollection of maritime students. We have two maritime schools there. I'm in charge of the other school. And then we have scholarship program. We have about 30 scholars from, these are children of porters and vendors. We started this before Sendo. That was 2010, I think, 2010. And we asked for more benefactors. In fact, I was asking the Archbishop Emeritus, we subdivision to at least to have at least 2 or 3 children. So we have 30 scholars. Gift giving, especially during Christmas, and so big celebrations. We also have that big gift giving. Our beneficiaries, of course, the seafarers, fishers, port vendors and porters, and the families. As the pastoral care, of course, for visitation. When you speak of home visitation, the families, of course, they say not only the families of the seafarers, but also the families of the fishers. We have several fishermen there in our place. And of course, these wives of the seafarers, especially the wives of the officers, they group themselves, they call themselves as Pearl of the Sea, POS. And then their head, Pablo, is always giving lectures on financial literacy. We used to visit the parishes, giving lectures, because I noticed that there are families and that they don't care about their financial, even if they have money, but they don't know how to save the money. Like we have to educate them, especially the children. So much money, the more they're not successful in their studies. So giving financial literacy. We have regular meeting with government agencies before the COVID. We have regular meeting with the government agencies, the POA, especially the UA, and the PPA, Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine Bureau of Customs. So we have this regular meeting. After the during the COVID, of course. After the COVID, we are trying to revive our regular meeting. Linkages to government stakeholders to help or assist seafarer in need of assistance. Our best partner, of course, is the OWA. Every time we encounter problems, we usually request the OWA to help us, especially for our seafarers abroad, not only the seafarers, but especially the land-based. Participation of the activities of government agencies, which are our partners for the good of our seafarers. Every time they have government agencies, they have celebration, they have other any other occasions, they usually invite us, and we are there because they are very supportive. So generally, our different agencies, they are very supportive to our ministry. I think that's all. We have, of course, we have foreign vessels. We used to visit the foreign vessels. As I said, there are captains who really ask for mass. Others just ask for Bible session and confession, especially for the group. Local vessels, of course, we have this weekly mass, of course, for the passengers, but we are trying our best to invite the crew of the local vessels. And before the pandemic, we had time to celebrate mass. The vessel before leaving for Cebu, before leaving for Manila. But after the pandemic, we stopped, and then we're trying our best to contact again the different agencies to revive our mass. That's all.
Thank you very much. You are
Yeah.
Cebu,
Yes.
Bohol, about the life.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lucille Kindoy of the Mary Star of the Sea Seafarers Family Association of Davao. Since Stella Maris is not existing in Davao, so we as a family association of seafarers, we continue what is being left by Stella Maris. So for the pastoral, we have the ship visitation, but it is limited. We can only embark Filipino captains, and mostly our seafarers' husband have the road Davao, Japan to New Zealand and Korea for the banana. And then we have Eucharistic celebration upon the request of also Filipino captain. Family visitation, we always have that, especially those who are retired, sick, and those who need communion because they cannot go out anymore, so we cater to that. We organize family organization by location, so we have in villages, and actually we extended it to Davao del Sur with Monsignor Bishop Afable. They also have now the Star of the Sea Family Association. So our organizations, we do it by location, geographically. So we get them together by parishes or by BEC, Basic Ecclesial Community. We call it GKK, Gagmay Kristohanong Katilingban. Seminars and training to seafarers, especially livelihood. What is being offered by OWA, DOLI, and everything, we also shared it to them, we informed them so they can benefit also. Chaplaincy, celebration of the word. This chaplaincy, we were trained before. So my husband was doing a chaplaincy, the celebration of the word. Because in Davao, we have a very strong basic ecclesial community. So we have the PSL, we call that Pangulo sa Liturgia. So if the priest cannot go to the mountain, so it's the PSL. So we are trained, so Marinol gave us the blessing to do it, and they trained our husband so that they can do it also in their ship. Then counseling is very important, especially when to the young seafarers, to the family, the children. So we also give counseling. We celebrate annual fiesta to the Mary Star of the Sea. So we celebrated it 28 years ago. So we'll be 28. So this is the most important for us. This is the time that we come together, and this make us active to those who are not also very active with the organization. So that's the time that we get together. So during the nightly novena, we have the novena in different places, and that includes the 4 maritime schools in Davao. So that's also that this is the place where we are always connected with the seafarer students, maritime students. And for the welfare, referral of cases to concerned agencies. So whatever problems they have, the seafarers encounter, we refer them to the right agency. Of course, we have the follow-up and everything, so that's what we did. Information dissemination pertaining seafarers, family, and concern. So whatever programs that benefited to the seafarers, we always inform them, and we encourage them to take those benefits. Collaboration and network with OWA, NEDA, Marina, and DOLI, and participate in their activities. So whatever in DOLI, we are a member of the MITC, Maritime Industry Tripartite. And in NEDA, they don't have other seafarers or maritime organizations, so mostly they get the information from us. So if we have meetings, needs logistics, they always call us. And then OWA, of course, it's really a program for the seafarers and the W. For the marina, we are always in touch. So next week this month we will celebrate the Maritime Week. We're always in charge of the liturgical celebration. Emergency response as needed when crisis arise. For example, the ports in Davao, if there is an emergency, when the ship sunk or get burned, we always have to the rescue, bringing foods, clothing, and everything. So whatever we can do for them, so we have to share. During the pandemic, we have the cash assistance by the SIRF. So we were given 118. For the ISWAN, we have 2. And then from the government, we have the TUPAD. That is 6,000. So we were given 30 slots. And for the Marino party list, we're also given 50 slots. So I mean, they're happy also that they receive 2,000 and 6,000 pesos each. And we also have the mortuary. In the family, it's the we practice this one, the mortuary assistance. And then livelihood training for the wives. So if they have the skills, talents, so we encourage them. So we let them to have training with TESDA. And sometimes OWA offer programs like that. So we encourage them. Now they have to get it so that when time comes, their husbands retired or not on board, they will have something for an income. And then we have network with other port chaplains. So I know mostly, except to the new one, the faces. So we're always in contact with Father Bruno, thank you. And Father Paulo, we've been together for 2002. And then, and other chaplains through email, because we have, especially in Santos, Brazil, and in Rotterdam, where mostly we have problems. So we have the directory, we use it. So that's the way how we can network, even if we don't know them, but if it's in their name, we introduce ourselves, and then that's the time, and then in contact. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Barangay ay na sister, but the Alaminos not was. Yeah, this one. Except. Yeah, Genesis. Except Alaminos and San Fernando. Except Alaminos and San Fernando. Everything we, and Maasin we don't have contact, but Manila.
Okay, Jensan, last Filipino.
So, good morning. This is Stella Jensen, managed by OND Hesed, but reporting to the Diocese of Marbel. It is a religious or faith-based organization, the OND Hesed. And I am Sister Joanne Lurilia, and I am working with Mr. Orly Padilla as our program coordinator. For our programs, we have pastoral care. Before the pandemic, we are actively doing the ship visitation. But now, during the pandemic, that was lessened. We also have family visits and family accompaniment, especially those families whose seafarers' husbands died. We do that accompaniment. We have counseling. We offer recollections and retreats for families. We do organizing of fishers community and seafarers' wives. We celebrate. No? We have celebrations like Seafarer Sunday, this coming September 25. And we also celebrate the Fishers Day, no? May 29. And we participate in the Maritime Week. Why we celebrate the National Fisheries Day? It is a way of recognizing the efforts of fishers in the value chain, no? In the food value chain. And during this time, Fishers Day is being supported by the city government of Jansan. That's why we have the Tuna Festival. But that celebration was started by Stella Maris. We also have legal services. We actively participate in the repatriation of fishers detained in Indonesia. So, and then if there are trafficking cases among fishers and seafarers, we refer it to the Department of Justice. For the social welfare, we give medical assistance. We provide livelihood assistance, especially for those repatriated fishers, for them to build back their lives after detention in Indonesia for years, or sometimes if they are lucky, months. And also during the pandemic, we are lucky to have cash assistance. We gave cash assistance for the seafarers, stranded seafarers, and fishers through the help of AOS Singapore. We also do networking with government agencies and other port chaplains, especially for the Port of Cebu, Port of Cagayan de Oro, and of course, the Port of Manila with Father Paulo. For our beneficiaries, of course, we have Filipino beneficiaries, Indonesian, and recently we have Bangladesh. So that's it, our beneficiaries. And we work with the fishers, the seafarers, their wives, their families, and their communities. Thank you. Yes. No, it's the ambassador of Bangladesh during the time when the Bangladeshi fleet was empty. One of the vessel was stranded in Zamboanga. It's the ambassador of Bangladesh who contacted Stella Maris Jensen.
You are not in contact with the Stella Maris Bangladesh?
No, we don't have contact with them.
Wow. Back to back.
Is it still morning? Should I say good morning? This will be very short.
2 pages.
You held up before.
4 pages.
4?
No. That's all my attempts. Jesus said, the first will be last, and the last will be first. The first letter of the alphabet,
A.
Aberdeen. I'm going to present this to you, but I'm presenting it in a fashion that it would be on the internet for the people that we are serving. or in a leaflet that we'll be giving out. So forgive me if I'm not speaking to you. The Port of Aberdeen, which it is called, is a city centre port, and Aberdeen is the oil capital of Europe. So we're twinned also with America. We are situated very close to Peterhead and Fraserburgh, which are fishing ports and largest ports in the UK. We are in a beautiful part of Scotland, part of the United Kingdom, and the port is very close to Balmoral Castle, which is the Queen's residence. And we have many distilleries to visit and also beautiful mountain scenery. So you're all welcome. Glasgow. Deacon Duncan, Doug Duncan, is the local Stella Maris Port Chaplain. And Stella Maris is a global network connected throughout the world. He and his many ship visitors working with seafarers and fishermen, and can be contacted on this number. Our facilities in the port include 2 seafarer centres. One, the Aberdeen Seafarer Centre, the other, the Norwegian Church, which is a centre. Both centres have quiet rooms for reflection, spiritual reflection. They have Wi-Fi, books, games, free teas and coffees and snacks. You're welcome, Glasgow. We also can provide phone top-ups, and we have a large selection of Bibles in many languages, along with Stella Maris prayer cards. The centres are situated only 5 minutes walk from Aberdeen town centre, 5 minutes, which includes shopping facilities, major shopping malls, sporting facilities, and museums and art galleries. Mass and communion can be arranged both in St. Peter's Church, which is only, again, 5 minutes from the port, or we can have services, communion services, on the ship, and can be contacted on the above number. Mass is served every day at 11:30, on a Saturday evening at 6 o'clock, and on a Sunday at 11 o'clock. Contact the above number for details. You're welcome in Glasgow. Stella Maris look forward and welcome you to the Port of Aberdeen. God bless you.
After the Congress, we all go and be guests with that.
Amen. Amen.
How far is Aberdeen from Glasgow?
From Glasgow, 157 miles.
Oh my God.
Wow, far, so thank you very much.
That's why I'm inviting you.
Yes. I understood.
You talk about Glasgow. You're right there. Free plane tickets are available.
From Doug Duncan. And to tell you this, the same, Stella Maris was founded in Glasgow only 101 years ago. So you're welcome to Glasgow. Stella Maris originated from.
And also have free SIM card also.
Free SIM card.
Yesterday I
Free SIM cards.
Notice you didn't mention the weather.
The weather.
The weather is always wonderful.
It's like you.
But we don't tell people that because we don't want you to come to Aberdeen.
The weather.
It's a beautiful.
Horrible.
The weather. The weather's beautiful. Beautiful. It's about, I would say it's about 45 degrees.
Oh yeah, that's
Now what's good?
Yeah.
Fahrenheit.
Minus 10.
Four seasons a day.
It doesn't rain. It doesn't rain for just 3 weeks a year, and then it snows.
Okay. We conclude with the guest in Manila.
I would like to say that I forgot that we produced a report in 2018. Then when I saw Father John put in the brochure, I said, I'm really a very old man who's here. I forgot. I forgot. So guys, I don't think I will repeat. What is here is, it was more or less still is. So I wrote all those things. If you allow me, just to follow the instruction of the facilitator. I'm Father Paulo Scalabrinian, a Brazilian, a chaplain director of the port in Manila. There are 3 ports there. 3 ports there. Connected to this, if you allow me to say, I do not say what we do. I just thank all of us for doing what we do. But I think it's nice to state here, including for our delegates that are not from the Philippines, that you imagine, guys, from the day of pandemic until now, we, Stella Maris Philippines, have distributed $250,000 US in whatever, a sack of rice or a cash. So there are the donors there behind it. Stella Maris UK, SRF, ISWAN, ITF, etc., etc. I say this because I think we should learn this lesson. We should learn this lesson for our own operations. That is one. The second one, Stella Maris Manila, basically 99% of our work are with Filipinos. Why? Because as you will find here, until 2018, we were allowed to go to the port. When pandemic came until now, we cannot enter Manila port. We cannot. We will talk about it later on. So our ship visit does not allow us, therefore, we have next to 0 contacts lately with any other nationality. I think Stella Maris without ship visit is without soul. The soul of Stella Maris is the ship visit. Now, in our case in the Philippines, I think we have to think of our centers. John and I, especially the seafarers are there, that's our soul. And the others, I think the families and the fishers. But that is something we can deepen among ourselves. That's it. What is not here is also the creation of the new department which impacts on our work. But then again, that is very Filipino stuff, very local. I'm happy to coordinate with everybody. I am personally happy that we have a good relationship with the people that we mentioned. No doubt it does make a difference, the relationship with the Vatican. No doubt it does make a good cooperation, coordination with Stella Maris UK. Of course, there are boundaries there that we have to look into. And no doubt that ITF, ISON, and other partners, they help us. So I think it is nice. It is nice. Personally, what I feel, we will talk about it, I guess, later on if I'm allowed. We have a proposal. But I guess here in coordination, we coordinate with everybody, am I right? Yes. Of course, I happen to be the famous regional coordinator, expiring very soon, which is all right. But it doesn't make any difference at all, I can tell you that. But it's nice to talk to Father, to Korea now every now and then. Of course, Thailand, we know Apinia since 1991, no Apinia. Of course, Coco, and our guys there in Japan, now Father. So now Father Kiem there in Vietnam. More than these guys, we have said everything.
Only this you do.
Yeah.
Only this.
Only this.
Okay, shame on you.
No. Something that I have to say, honestly, the prices of whatever the guys contribute to us, those they give us for those foreigners, basically every seafarer give to us $1 a day, $1.50 or $2. Those in our centers. Those prices are 2015. We never change. So if I have to die, I will die standing. Okay? Like standing on that idea. Never change. And for the time being, as I say. But then honestly, the Lord gives us other things in other ways. That's why we shared, not because we are generous, okay? Because there are other people who are generous and gave to us. So honestly, I have to say thank you for those who said yes, and us, we have assisted, helped. The three main categories, the seafarers, the fishers, and their respective families. Then each one of us have peculiarities. Jen Santos, fishers. Father John and Visayas, the families. We Luzon heavily on seafarers because they are in Manila. So I think it is the uniqueness of Stella Maris. That's why perhaps our vision, mission, goals should just be based on the logo. It's more than enough. I will return. Thank you, Father.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all. I understand it was a long session, but I think it was needed, because after yesterday I wanted to get out of that box, okay? That taking for granted about what we do. I wanted to expand. I wanted to stress out the nuances of our job, the nuances of the way you perform the job. Apparently it's the same, but it's not the same, because each context influences strongly the work. So sometimes you say we are doing the same, and again we consider the three big pillars, but it's not like that. We always have to think that our contribution is interesting because it's unique. Okay? Otherwise, the risk of standardization, not standardization of the others, standardization of ourselves, is too risky. Okay? And we have to avoid, absolutely. The second reason why we did this is because since we are talking about networking and strengthening the network in the region, I think that the first step is the knowledge. To know who we are, to know what we do. It's also interesting to see how we present ourselves and how we present what we do. Okay? This is the first step, because basically a network is based on a few components. First, of course, the knowledge of each other. Second, the sharing of objectives of what we do. And I think that here there's plenty of indications that we share more or less the same objective. Third, the values that we have in serving these people. That's why yesterday we were on the goals, on the values, and that's why John worked a bit on what you did yesterday, because there were things to be clarified, there were things to be adjusted. When we are talking about values, we are talking about something that is very deep and something that is a glue and that is a compass. Values are our compass in life, okay? Now we are not talking about financial values, we are talking about inner values. Okay? And they are those that are allowing us to cooperate. Okay? Now, just to make you comfortable, now John will do this short presentation. Then I will give the floor to my friend Paolo for what he has to share with you, whatever it is, I don't know. And then we break, okay? In the afternoon, we will work again on networking, but only through games again, okay? So